Mnangagwa spells Parliament's legislative agenda. President Mnangagwa has outlined the third session of the 9th Parliament's legislative agenda that is expected to consolidate the government's political and economic reform agenda. Officially opening the third session of the 9th Parliament, President Mnangagwa said Parliament had passed 10 bills out of 39 that were expected to be tabled before Parliament. As at the 22nd of September 2020, a total of 10 of these bills were published in Parliament. I, therefore, call upon the third session of the Parliament to expedite the completion of processes with regards to all outstanding bills, the enactment of which will help to deepen the ongoing economic reforms as well as entrench constitutionalism and our democratic culture, he said. In a bid to consolidate economic gains, a number of bills will be presented in Parliament which will also promote the competitiveness of some sectors of the economy. To buttress the economic gains made to date, and enhance our attractiveness as a preferred investment destination as well as the ease of doing business in our country. The following legislation will be attended to. The Sugar Industry Act will amend the Sugar Industry Production Control Act, Chapter 1819. The Economic Empowerment Act is set to replace the Indigenization of the Economic Empowerment Act, Chapter 1433, which will be repealed. The Competition Act will be amended to align it with regional and international agreements, particularly the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, he said. President Mnangagwa also noted progress which has been made in the mining sector, saying there is a need to expedite amendments to the Mines and Minerals Act. It is pleasing to note that the immense progress made in the mining sector towards the realization of the 12 billion mining sector by 2023. Concerted and collaborative efforts must be urgently pursued to conclude the amendments to the Mines and Minerals Act. This will, in turn, usher in the necessary processes for the amendment of the Precious Stones and Gold Trade Act. Meanwhile, the Minamata Convention, which will end the use of mercury in mining activity, will be tabled for ratification. New and less alternative technologies should be strictly adopted to ensure sustainable mining in our country, he said. The attainment of the $5 billion tourism sector by 2030 will be anchored on the tabling of the Zimbabwe Tourism Act and the Parks and Wildlife Act, whose amendment will encourage tourism investment and include community-based wildlife management. In line with the devolution and trade policy which guides the nation towards inclusive and socio-economic development, industrialization and modernization, and the quest to give more autonomy to local authorities in pursuit of Education 5.0 model, the third session of the 9th Parliament must dispense on 3 bills from the higher and tertiary education sector in line with the Constitution. The Youth Bill will set the parameters to regulate youth development and empowerment promotion, occasional training and skills development, financial inclusion, youth participation and leadership, as well as national service. The bill will also provide measures to strengthen the Zimbabwe Youth Council and its substructures, he said. The enactment of Freedom of Information Bill into law during this second session was a significant milestone in our media reform program to increase media diversity and pluralism in the country. These bills must ensure that our media industry act in the national interest and propel the development of our country. The third session of the 9th Parliament is thus expected to complete the outstanding media bills, which include the Zimbabwe Media Commission Bill, the Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill and the Protection of Personal Information Bill, he said.